It's astonishing how an iconic Hollywood star like Gene Hackman managed to keep his family's most heartbreaking secrets locked away for so many years. Most people know him for his memorable roles in classic films, but few realize just how fiercely he guarded his private life. Now, his children, often shielded from the intense glare of fame, are opening up about the sorrow and turmoil they faced when their mother passed under tragic circumstances. For decades, this story remained hidden, overshadowed by Gene's on-screen achievements and his insistence on privacy. Yet recent revelations have finally brought a bittersweet closure to a mystery that has haunted them for years. What makes this revelation so extraordinary is how tightly the Hackman children kept their grief under wraps. They respected their father's desire for discretion, honoring an unspoken code that their struggles would remain theirs alone. However, time has a way of unearthing truths once thought buried. As rumors bubbled up and swirling theories continued to spread, the family realized the need to step forward, both to protect their mother's memory and to clear the air. In doing so, they've also shed light on the silent battles Gene Hackman fought to keep them safe from sensational headlines. Today, people think they know everything about this Hollywood legend, but there's a chapter in his life that's only just coming to light. The children's decision to speak reveals new dimensions of Gene Hackman as a father, a husband, and a man grappling with fame's cost. Much of his reserved nature can be traced to the heartbreak woven into their family story. As we piece together the events that led to their mother's tragic passing, prepare for revelations that go far beyond the standard Hollywood narrative. This is not about glitz or glamour. It's about emotional scars, a family bound by loyalty, and a father determined to protect his children no matter the personal toll. Stay with us through each detail as we uncover how Gene Hackman's closest kin finally learned to live with their griefs, and why the world is only now hearing their side of the story. 2. The private world of a Hollywood legend. For most of his career, Gene Hackman seemed completely at ease before the camera. He could inhabit complex characters with ease, transforming every scene into something magnetic. Yet away from the spotlight, he led a life marked by deliberate privacy, choosing to limit interviews about his home life and rarely allowing photographs of his family. That sense of mystery was partly shaped by the baggage he carried from childhood, and partly by his commitment to shelter the people he loved most. In the early years of his stardom, Hackman faced the typical pressures of Hollywood. Studio executives wanted endless publicity, paparazzi prowled for personal snapshots, and gossip columns thrived on any rumor they could find. But Hackman displayed little interest in feeding that machine. His marriage to the children's mother stayed off the tabloids' radar as much as possible. Even when he achieved superstar status, fans almost never glimpsed the woman who stood by his side through intense filming schedules, award ceremonies, and high-pressure negotiations. It wasn't just media avoidance that defined their home life. Hackman's children remember him as a quiet, reflective father who, despite his demanding profession, tried to instill normalcy within those four walls. Sure, they attended glamorous premieres from time to time, but those appearances were rare. Most days, they lived just like any other family, morning breakfast together, weekend outings, and quiet evenings discussing books, music, and the day's ups and downs. As the children grew older, they sensed beneath their mother's unwavering devotion, not just to their father, but to the entire family's emotional well-being. While Gene Hackman stayed busy on set, she was the comforting constant at home. Whether it was holding the family together through a tough filming schedule or organizing small gatherings with close friends, she remained the anchor that kept everyone sane in a high-stakes environment. Yet there were undercurrents of unease. Subtle rumors occasionally circulated, whispers about private struggles, possible health problems, or a personal battle that their mother might have been fighting in silence. People close to the family rarely discussed it, but a few hints slipped out here and there. No one truly understood how serious the situation might be, and with Gene's guarded nature, prying questions were met with polite deflections. Still, that quiet world was about to shatter in the face of a devastating loss, one that would test the Hackman family like never before. 3. The mother's tragic passing. When the news of their mother's death finally emerged, it caught many outsiders by surprise. The family's grief was immediate and raw, made more painful by the fact that very few details were released publicly. Some speculated about a hidden illness or an accident. Others whispered about deeper troubles that had plagued her for years. No official statement clarified the circumstances, which only fueled a swirl of theories. The children, already grappling with profound loss, had to watch these rumors escalate without feeling ready or strong enough to intervene. Friends of the family spoke about her as a pillar of kindness, one who rarely sought attention, preferring to uplift others quietly. Those who knew her well say she'd been battling physical ailments in secret for quite some time. Some accounts suggest it was a rare medical condition that turned critical faster than anyone predicted. The family never confirmed or denied these claims, sparking even more mystery. In the immediate aftermath, all that mattered to them was mourning and privacy. For them, this was not a story to be sensationalized, but a personal tragedy demanding space and reflection. Gene Hackman, known for his stoic composure, seemed especially devastated. Despite having portrayed some of cinema's most unflappable characters, he became a picture of heartbreak when the cameras weren't rolling. Those who encountered him in the weeks that followed describe him as quiet and withdrawn, a man whose entire sense of balance had been upended. The children struggled too, confronting an emptiness they never imagined. Their mother had been the nurturer, the caretaker, the one who managed the emotional framework of the household. Because the public had never been given a window into her life, it felt doubly unfair that her passing became a spectacle of speculation. Headlines promised to reveal the real story, while tabloid pieces made outlandish claims without evidence. Each story stung, compounding the anguish the Hackman children were already experiencing. The unrelenting curiosity only made them retreat further, reinforcing their belief that privacy was crucial to healing, even if it meant letting rumors linger unchecked. Deep down, however, the family understood that staying silent also meant leaving a void where the truth should be. Strangers might misinterpret the facts or belittle their mother's memory through half-truths and sensational gossip. And so a quiet conviction began to form among the siblings, a realization that one day they would have to set the record straight, if only to honor the woman who had protected them from the very storm now swirling around them. 4. Children. Finally speak out. After years of keeping their grief hidden, Gene Hackman's children chose a pivotal moment to break their silence. They had watched the rumors accumulate and the narrative twist in ways that felt disrespectful to their mother's memory. Timing played a key role. Each child needed to be ready, both emotionally and mentally, to revisit that painful chapter of their lives. Ultimately, what compelled them to speak was a deep desire to protect their mother's name, highlight her kindness and courage, and ensure her legacy wasn't lost in a flurry of false headlines.
One child described the choice as both liberating and terrifying. For so long, their family rule had been to keep personal matters within the family circle. Going public carried a new risk. Once the details were out, they wouldn't control how people interpreted them. Yet holding back felt worse. They wanted to pay tribute to the woman who encouraged them to chase their dreams, the same woman who quietly managed the household while Gene Hackman reigned on the silver screen. It was time for the world to see beyond the bright lights and into the softer, more vulnerable heart of this family.
When they finally spoke, each child revealed a different facet of their mother's influence. One remembered her unwavering support during a crisis in high school. Another reminisced about deep talks at the kitchen table whenever life got rough. They highlighted her passion for art, music, or reading. Small, intimate details that never made the headlines but left a lasting imprint on their upbringing. Above all, they described a woman whose quiet strength shaped Gene Hackman's ability to flourish in an often ruthless industry. Their candor also exposed the emotional toll they endured. When those first shockwaves of grief struck, each sibling recalled a phase of self-blame, wondering if they could have done more, asked more questions, or convinced her to seek different medical care. In sharing these confessions, they hoped others facing similar heartache would realize they weren't alone. This was a testament to a mother's powerful presence, and in telling her story, the children found a way to heal wounds that had been festering in silence for too long. Yet even as they opened up, they made it clear that this wasn't a press tour or a tabloid spectacle. This was about honoring a woman who mattered profoundly. Family friends described the children's decision as a natural extension of their mother's love. She would never have let them remain silent if it meant letting her memory be tarnished. The weight of this moment brought sorrow, but it also ignited a spark of relief, as if her story was finally being told with the dignity she deserved. 5. Rumors, controversies, and conflicting reports. The moment the Hackman children broke their silence, every corner of the media went on high alert. Some outlets approached the story with sensitivity, respecting the family's need for privacy even while reporting new details. Others, however, treated it like a goldmine for sensational headlines. Accusations and wild theories started swirling once again. Some claimed a hidden inheritance battle was the real catalyst for the children's revelations. Others insisted there was an ongoing legal dispute about rights to a rumored unpublished manuscript. None of these claims were substantiated, but that didn't stop the tabloids from doubling down. Friends who truly knew the Hackman family rolled their eyes at these allegations. They pointed out the children's long record of privacy, their reluctance to stand in the limelight, and the genuine bond that kept them united through hardship. A family friend mentioned that if money had been the motive, they'd have come forward with shocking revelations long ago. But for outsiders who craved drama, such logic fell on deaf ears. After all, scandal sells, and the quieter truth rarely generates the same explosive attention. An especially damaging rumor suggested that the children had withheld crucial medical care from their mother in her final days. This insinuation cut deep, shaking the siblings to the core. They considered whether to remain silent or respond. Ultimately, they issued a brief statement debunking the claim and affirming the love and dedication they showed to her daily. Numerous hospital staff and close relatives backed their account, condemning the rumor as baseless and cruel. But once a rumor takes hold, it can be hard to extinguish entirely. One surprising twist came from online communities. Certain fans, admirers of Gene Hackman's work, rallied behind the family, creating supportive social media pages dedicated to clarifying misinformation. These grassroots efforts reminded the children that not everyone was trying to profit off their pain. Many simply wanted a better understanding and hoped to show respect for a family grappling with devastating grief. Behind the scenes, the children fought conflicting emotions: anger at the press for twisting their vulnerability, and relief that their message reached those genuinely seeking the truth. Every rumor they addressed was another weight lifted, another small victory for their mother's legacy. They recognized that the controversies wouldn't vanish overnight, but slowly and surely, the facts were overtaking the fictions. What mattered most to them was shining a light on who she really was, and how her memory deserved better than tabloid fodder. 6. The legacy and healing process. With time, a shift began to take place in how the children approached their loss. Instead of viewing interviews or statements as burdens, they saw them as opportunities to celebrate their mother's life and help others who had endured similar heartbreak. Each sibling found unique ways to keep her spirit alive. One child established a charitable foundation in her name, focusing on healthcare initiatives that reflected the struggles she faced in her final months. Another organized intimate gatherings where old friends and family members would share stories, passing on the warmth she once spread so effortlessly. Gene Hackman's protective nature also came into focus. Friends say it was he who insisted early on that his family be shielded from relentless media intrusion. Though his decision may have contributed to the later buildup of rumors, his heart was always in the right place. As the children opened up, people finally glimpsed a side of Hackman rarely discussed in interviews. A father whose achievements on screen paled in comparison to the responsibility he felt for his family's well-being. The healing process wasn't linear. Some days, the children were overwhelmed by the loss. Simple routines felt empty without their mother's presence. They leaned on one another, recalling shared holidays, dinner table conversations, and impromptu road trips. By actively recounting those memories, they discovered the subtle power of mutual support. Even fans, once the source of prying questions, became a surprising reservoir of encouragement. The outpouring of heartfelt messages on social media made them feel less isolated, reaffirming that their mother had touched countless lives, even if only indirectly, through her influence on Gene Hackman's work. In a rare interview, the siblings described how the mother's memory guided them each day. They spoke about the values she instilled: kindness, determination, and above all, empathy. In an industry often consumed by ego and fame, those qualities stood out as a testament to the woman behind the scenes. Ironically, her lack of a public persona is what makes her so captivating in hindsight. She was a quiet force who molded the family's unity, ensuring that even after her passing, they remained inseparable. As the children continued to speak candidly, they noticed a transformative effect. Their openness lessened the sting of speculation. More and more people understood that real human stories reside beneath the Hollywood veneer. While the mother's passing left an irreplaceable void, her spirit lived on through the children's determination to preserve the ideals she stood for. In the end, that quiet, understated legacy might well be her greatest triumph, a reminder that genuine love and resilience can outlast any tabloid frenzy. 7. Conclusion. In the end, this story is about far more than an acclaimed actor and the tragedy that befell his loved ones. It's a powerful lesson in how privacy can be both a shield and a burden. For many years, Gene Hackman's insistence on keeping his family away from prying eyes offered them a sanctuary free from the pressures of Hollywood. But when sorrow struck, when the mother at the heart of it all passed so abruptly, those same walls of silence made it difficult to correct rampant rumors and misconceptions. Yet as the children's voices emerged, a new understanding began to take hold. Their mother's passing wasn't a tabloid tale or a fleeting headline, but a deeply personal loss that demanded respect. The courage shown by the siblings in sharing their truth underscores the profound impact she had on them. Their revelations do more than quell curiosity. They honor her memory and remind us all that behind every celebrity's public face lies a deeply human story, filled with love, heartbreak, resilience, and lessons learned along the way. Perhaps what's most striking is how these revelations highlight Gene Hackman's unwavering commitment to keeping his family protected, even at the height of his stardom. Although he was revered on movie sets and adored by fans worldwide, his real priority was the peaceful existence he crafted at home. Today, his children stand as living proof that the values he and his wife instilled left an enduring mark, guiding them through the darkest of times. As we draw this tale to a close, it's worth reflecting on the hidden battles countless families face, often overshadowed by fame and public expectations. The Hackman children's decision to speak is not just an exposé on their mother's tragic end. It's a loving tribute and a beacon for those who have endured loss under relentless public gaze. While many questions will linger, one truth remains clear. The bond forged in privacy and sustained by mutual devotion can weather even the harshest storms. And in sharing that truth, the Hackman family has ensured their mother's spirit continues to shine long after her final curtain call.